inside of your advanced, there's two things. GeoDNS in Constellix comprises of two pieces: the Global Traffic Director, which I just talked about, and GeoIPs. GeoIPs consist of IP filters and geo proximity. In an IP filter, you actually define a filter, whatever you want to call it. So let's say I want to create a defined region for people in New York State, right? And so I will automatically do North America. And let's say I wanted to do New York/Jersey, right? So I can make the demo a bit more exciting, right? And you can add those two particular regions, right? At the same time, I could just filter on ASN, right? If I know the network that the queries are coming from, I can say if it matches from this ASN, etc. You could also filter on IPv4 and IPv6 address, right? So the biggest question is, so we're allowing you to define specifically by the querying client. What do I mean by querying client? So that means that you have your web browser that makes the request, asks the resolving name server. The resolving name server then hits our authoritative name server. Usually the response is given from the IP address of the resolving name server, right? Which is hopefully close to the querying client. If the querying client supports eDNS client subnet, then you automatically have the ability to see what the client's IP address is. Constellix supports eDNS client subnet. This means that if the resolving name server gives us the IP address of the original client, we'll make the response based on that. So that's a really important thing to do. So I created one filter for New York, New Jersey. I'm going to add another one now that I'm going to say, okay, the black hole. How do I stop users from hitting me from certain regions? And our biggest request, and I apologize, I'm doing this to anyone that's going to offend, but our biggest request for DNS Made Easy is how do I block people from China and how do I block people from North Korea? So you can just do a quick little a mapping over here and say, okay, I want to block those people. So I'm just creating this filter for you now to do that. And then I'm going to do another one. I'm going to say, how do I have, if a competitor, I don't want the competitor to go to my website. I want them to see a different website. Or how do I make people see something else? Very common question or not as well inside DNS Made Easy. And I'm just going to do a make-believe network here just to put it in here. Obviously, you put the ASN of the competitor, or you put your IP or IPv4 subnet masks in here. You put it in, so we can do something like that. So those are how you do your different IP filters.